wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
That's Lights Out, Bia, J.I. did. Now, that's off the Bad Boys, what is it, 4? Bad Boys 4 soundtrack.
Yeah.
Tough tune. Tough tune. That sounds like a big record, Bia.
Yep.
I dig it. Great way to make people forget about that horrible diss record you didn't put out the other week against Cardi B.
Yo, stop it. Well, let's
I
get
was listening for any Cardi subliminals, too. I was going to turn it off.
Stop it. Let's get in some front page news. Now, quickly, last night, the Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 107-89, and the Celtics look damn good. Porzingis is back. He was balling last night, so they look good last night, boy.
Yeah, Porzingis dropped 20 last night. But, I never judge a series off the first game, but, it is going to be tough for the Mavericks.
It is.
It is going to be tough for the Mavericks. But sit back and enjoy the show.
That's right. Morgan, well, good morning.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all feeling? Happy Friday.
Hey.
We made it to the weekend. Yeah, let's jump into it. So former President Trump, his campaign is beginning to vet potential running mates. Reports say the vetting process has focused on 4 possible candidates: Florida Senator Marco Rubio, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Trump's short list is said to be not complete just yet, with other possible names including South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, and former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson. The Trump campaign says anyone who tells you they know how, who, or when President Trump will choose his VP, they're lying. The Republican National Convention is set to be held July 15th through the 18th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we're expecting that a decision should be made by then.
I would think politically that's a great move, or career suicide, just depending on what happens in November. And even, I guess just based off what happens in November.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Moving on, a Black-owned restaurant in St. Louis, Missouri is facing some backlash over its age restrictions. At Bliss, only women 30 and older and men 35 and older will be permitted in the restaurant. This is after 7 p.m. Wednesdays through Sundays. And yes, they're checking IDs at the door. The restaurant manager's Marvin Pete spoke to KSDK News alongside with assistant manager Erica Rhodes about why an age restriction was implemented. Let's hear from them.
It's just something for the older people to come to and have a happy hour, come get some good food, and not have to worry about some of the young folks that bring some of that drama.
And of course, we have been getting a little backlash, but that's okay because we're sticking to our code.
We going.
I'm not mad at it.
I can't wait to go there.
I'm not mad at it.
After them little jitterbugs. What they drop on the clues bomb for those people for thinking about us old folks?
I'm not mad at it. They have restaurant age limits. They have places where older people can live. So the fact that they're doing this, I don't have a problem with it. If you have a problem with it, don't
understand? Why are we acting like we don't understand?
I understand.
I'll be 46 and
I understand.
What's today? 20. I'll be 46 and I can't do math. What's today?
Today is the 6th, 7th.
I'll be 46 on the 29th. What's that? 22 days?
That's 8, 9, 22 days.
Once them kids in them poo shiesty masks and them bubble coats pull up anyway, I leave. It's time to get the hell up out there. I'm in the wrong place.
Somebody give Charlamagne a reservation to the place.
I'm there.
That he wants people to visit his restaurant and feel like they're on a resort. Of course, their menu items feature West African and Caribbean food. So yeah, cool. That definitely sounds like a place to be. In other news, a new study found that majority of Americans have a negative view of tipping. Bankrate senior industry analyst Ted Rossman says over a third say tipping culture has gotten out of control. Let's hear from him.
Some of the big pain points are those pre-entered tip screens that we encounter at coffee shops and food trucks and elsewhere. 34% are annoyed about those. We're seeing a lot of crazy tip prompts. Like the craziest I encountered was being asked to tip at a self-checkout machine at Newark Airport. I didn't feel bad hitting no on that one. It's not so much an optional thing anymore where you have to go out of your way to put money in there. It's really you have to go out of your way not to tip in some settings when you get prompted on the payment terminal or in the app.
I agree. Yeah. I think it's getting to the point where people feel like you have to tip. But tipping was supposed to be a way of thanking somebody for good service, right? If somebody does good service or somebody goes over and beyond, you give them a great tip, right? And if they don't, you don't. But now it's to the point where they want tip for everything, and it's getting a little ridiculous. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if you provide, like you said, if you provide me good service, I'm gonna tip you regardless.
That's
I mean, what you should be focusing on is making sure that you are doing a great job
right.
for whoever you are waiting on.
Mm-hmm. Well, not even just waiting on. It's like he said. It's gas stations. It's any place.
I ain't tipping. Why? I didn't no need to tip the gas station attendant now.
Like everywhere got those little. Like,
That's the main person.
We
You
want
should
to
tip.
ask you a question real quick, real fast. You're
Yes.
like, what? You look on the screen. Oh, okay.
No.
Uber Eats drivers, waiters. Who else do I tip? But you know who I don't understand tipping. I don't want to say don't understand tipping. I be thinking about it. Like if you're already paying somebody for a service, like let's say a greeter at an airport, you're already paying them for the service.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Why am I tipping them?
I still do, but I just be wondering why am I doing that? Because you're already paying them.
To your point, if they go above and beyond for you,
Yeah. There you go.
Bad about it. But, if it's like, oh, you're really soliciting me to do it every time, it's like, okay.
But you tip your barber. You tip the person that does your hair, right? And they're getting paid for that service.
Well, that's different.
It's the same thing as the greeter.
No, that's different. No,
What's the difference?
My hairline. You ever seen me with my hair grow out a little bit?
You don't have a hairline.
That's my point.
Okay,
so
you
when I
Could have
look,
tipped your barber.
that's right. When I salute to my barber Ty, he's always there for me. So
He's always there for me.
when that little bit of hair grow out, and you can see how bad my hairline is receding, we need them in our life.
He's there for you.
Okay.
They grow real fast there. You can get a haircut.
Ain't
on
nobody ask
Tuesday,
you.
That hair be going back.
Ain't nobody
right back
asked you.
Wednesday morning.
All right.
Yeah, well, the major problem is percentages are up as we get older. So there you go.
That's right.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you. See y'all in a bit.
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks last night, 107-89. Porzingis is back, and the Celtics look good last night. So
It's gonna be tough for the Mavs, man. The Celtics too big, too long. Pause.
Damn.
now, Morgan, good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
I'm sorry you had to come in on that pause, but good
Thank
morning.
God it's Friday.
That's right.
Yeah, so veterans and world leaders were in Normandy, France yesterday to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. President Biden spoke about the sacrifices made on that fateful day. Let's hear from the president.
Here, the coast of Normandy, the battle between freedom and tyranny would be joined. Here, on that June morning, the testing was at hand. Nearly 160,000 Allied troops descended on Normandy. Many, to state the obvious, never came home. Many survived that longest day, kept on fighting for months until victory was finally won.
Yeah, so the date, June 6, 1944, is what the president was referencing. More than 9,000 made the ultimate sacrifice in that. And despite the losses, German troops defending beaches were defeated, enabling more than 100,000 soldiers to begin the long march to Berlin. Men attended a ceremony at the Normandy American Cemetery and Memorial, which is on a bluff overlooking Omaha Beach. It contains the remains of nearly 10,000 American troops who died overseas during the war. Biden was joined by French President Emmanuel Macron, who presented survivors with the Legion of Honor. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin also spoke at the solemn ceremony, saying the sacrifices must never be forgotten. Let's hear from Lloyd Austin.
Our memories must never dim, and our resolve must never fail. We still seek a world where aggression is a sin, and where human rights are sacred, and where all people can live in freedom.
Yeah, so as the average age of World War II veterans is just under 100 years old. This is a major commemoration, and major commemorations are held every 5 years. This year's event, though, they said could be the last to include veterans who actually fought in that battle.
It's crazy to think that it's so many World War II veterans that are still here.
Right.
That are still alive.
Yeah.
Some of them was on stage yesterday with President Biden.
Yep.
President Biden ain't looked that young in years.
You thought he looked young.
Terrible.
I thought he fit right in.
Well, speaking of fighting battles, former Baltimore State's attorney Marilyn Mosby is planning to appeal her perjury and mortgage fraud convictions. Mosby filed a notice on Thursday to get her case heard in a federal appeals court in Richmond, Virginia. A federal judge last month sentenced Mosby to 3 years of supervised release, including a year of home detention after 2 separate juries found her guilty of charges related to a scheme to buy a pair of Florida vacation homes. Mosby is also appealing in order to forfeit one of those homes because it was obtained through mortgage fraud.
As she should appeal. She got, 12 months house arrest, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when you think about other people who have been convicted recently.
President Donald Trump.
Yeah,
It's going to be
exactly.
interesting to see, I mean, what his sentence is. I mean, when you look at somebody like Marilyn Mosby and you see
Right.
she got 12 months home confinement, you wonder what they're going to do to Donald Trump. I just wonder, just because he's a former president, what kind of privilege does that give you?
Right.
I can't wait.
Well, we're watching.
I can't wait to see. Salute to the good sister Marilyn Mosby, though.
Yes. And Jess, have you decided on a baby name yet? If not, Caitlin Clark's popularity is influencing baby names. A new report from the website Baby Center shows the name Caitlin is up almost 1,600 spots as a girl's name, and Clark is up 15 spots as a boy's name. The former Hawkeyes basketball star, now with the WNBA's Indiana Fever, was selected as the WNBA Rookie of the Month in May. Well, that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media, MORGYN Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network and BINnews.com. Thank y'all.
Peace,
Thank
Morgan.
you,
Have a good
Morgan.
weekend.
Morgan.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.